Okay, welcome to my first live stream. This is Joey C. from Spoon Beach here at the Spoon Beach rehearsal facilities, secretly tucked away in beautiful Miramar, Florida. As usual, I'm a little out of sorts. I don't have everything together yet, but if you give me a minute, I will get out my guitar and hopefully some people will come online and we'll chat and I'll play a little bass guitar for you. All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we got the bass guitar, which helps. We'll have a little conversation here, and then I'll play a little music for you, and maybe we'll chat a little more. Let's see what happens. Of course, being my first live stream, I'm a little amateur at this, but I'll figure it out. Okay. The first thing you want to do is make sure everything's in tune. Close enough. Sounds good enough for me. So anyways, so who am I? Well, I'm just an old guy from South Florida who grew up here, been playing music for a long time. I was in a couple different bands, but they all circled around the same group of people. And we finally ended up with our band called Spoon Beach, which we're on YouTube. You can check us out. If you go to Spoon Beach in the search bar, a bunch of videos will come up with us playing live and whatnot. So I've been kind of shy to the social media platform and really haven't had the opportunity to get out here and just tell my story or tell the story about the band. So I figured I'd do that. So that was kind of my intention. So, you know, we're currently a three-piece band, but we've had horns and keyboards and percussion. And like I said, if you go to YouTube and you search through, you'll see different versions of the band, so to speak. But I'm the bass player. I'm the lead vocalist. And hopefully we'll be doing some stuff coming up in the near future. We've just been rehearsing. We have a large set list. We can do about 2 hours of music live. And so we've just been hashing out, getting that material tight and sounding like a real band. So anyways, this is my 2005 Fender Jazz Bass. Now this one I have a pretty cool story about. It was Carnival Cruise Line's warehouse, and I knew the gentleman who used to run the warehouse. And I was going through there with him, and I saw this bass leaning up against a rack covered in dust. No bass case, no nothing. And I said, "Hey, what's the deal with that?" And he's like, "Well, make me an offer." So I offered him a couple bucks, ended up with this bass guitar. I actually like more high-end electronics. So this has a Bartolini active electronics pickup system, which I installed. And it gives a little more push, a little more punch. And let me turn it up a little bit. All right, so we got some sound here. Let's put a little effect to it. Sorry, I had to change the setting here. Let's see. So I like to play a little loose. Sometimes we can also do a little funky. I just realized that there is a snare drum in this room that is on, and I'm getting that zzz, 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 zzz. So let me turn that off for a second. As I said, this is my first time, my first live cast, so I still got to tweak a few things. There it is. Okay. So why do we play what we play? Well, we're an original music band. We don't really play cover tunes. I was never big on that when we were growing up in high school. A lot of bands did that to make money, and that's respectable. I don't have anything against that, but I figured if you're going to put all that hard blood, sweat, and tears into it, it might as well be something that's yours, or at least represents who you guys are. So we stood fast for many years, and so we have a good repertoire of music, but at the same time, we have a following. We have we're on Apple Tunes and Spotify, and some of the guys in the band do the tracking on that, and so we've been picked up around the world, basically, in in different countries. People have listened to us, so we'd like to do something with this band, and I figured that this would be a start, a way to get me out of my shell, so to speak. Little runs just to keep the fingers from getting too much arthritis on them. Just keeps things moving along. As I get the hang of this a little more and feel a little more comfortable doing this, I'll become a little more entertaining at the same time, and I'll put something together. Maybe people want to learn. People want to chat. Or talk about some really good stories about Miami's music scene back in the day. And all the knuckleheads that I've rubbed elbows and other things with. I've been in the Miami music scene since the mid '80s, so we've all seen our share of we've seen our share of good times, and we've seen our share of some bad times, and we've lost, unfortunately, a lot of good friends in the time that has passed. But we remember them, and they inspire us to keep performing and to keep playing and thinking about them. Even some of the musicians who are in our band who are no longer with us, but nevertheless, we always go forward, because you know what they say, the show must go on. Okay, let's see. Let's do a little. No. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Thank you. Let's check our tuning while I have a sip. We're still pretty good. Okay. And also have a good collection of bass guitars, a lot of which I've worked on myself personally. I'm into active electronics, so pretty much all my bass guitars have been modified with a Bartolini active electronics package. Some of them have 1 9 volts, some of them have 2 9 volts, give a little more power. the way I would explain the way active electronics works is that when you have a passive pickups, the ones that don't have a battery, the amplifier's reaching out to the guitar to pull the sound from it. And when you have the active electronics, you have the bass guitar literally sending the signal to the amplifier. So that's an easier way to explain it in a nutshell. But it's a really nice sound. I know a lot of guitar players like active electronics, 6-string guitar players, and even I think I saw something with Zach Wild where he's a big fan of EMG. And I used to have EMG on a Fender Precision bass that I had, and they were awesome. They were actually the stepping stone for me to go from passive to active pickups. And then from EMGs, I went to Bartolini. It's because a lot of the high-end basses like Alembic and Sadowski and some of those, they were always loaded with the Bartolini electronics. And I love the sound that those high-end basses put out. So I was like, well, if the electronics is a good portion of how the bass performs, then maybe I should put some cool electronics in this and see what happens. And of course, I love it personally, but that's just me. Everybody's different. If you ever get a chance to play between the two, try A and Bing, a passive bass and an active bass, you'll definitely notice the difference just plugging into the amp and putting one setting, trying the passive bass, unplug it, plug in the active bass, and you'll see the volume is going to be 30% louder than what you had with the passive setup. So it's really nice. And I know I'm talking a little bit of geeky audiophile-ish gibberish, but it's true. It's true. Anywho, I'll give you an example. So, so I have both knobs. So basically I have two volume knobs. The bottom one is my back pickup. The top one is my front pickup. So I can go between them if I want to, but my personal thing is I keep them both wide open. Bartolini offers this middle position, which is a two different stages of low bass that you can manipulate. So I have my setting that I like for that. And then you have the top is treble and the bottom skirt on here is bass. So I can kind of add high end and I could take away, or add bottom end or take away. So this is at 12 o'clock on both of them. All right, so then this is turning up the high end. So you can definitely hear more punch on the high end. So I'm going to put the high end back at 12 o'clock, and now I'm going to show you again. Now we're going to add some bottom end to them. So as you can see, there's a lot of bottom end now, but you don't need always so much big bottom. So we can add a little high end there. So there's a nice sweep of color that you can have using this. And you don't really have to go to the amp too much if you have a nice warm setting on your amplifier, which pretty much is how I have it set up. When you go to play, if you need to dig in a little bit, you can just dial it right up. So, example of okay. So this would. We'll play a little riff on the high end, and then I'll play a little riff, same riff on the low end. See if you can kind of notice the highs and the highs and the lows and the lows. All right. Now the same riff on the low end of the scale. Sorry. Okay, I'm Joey C. from Spoon Beach, and this was my first official live stream. Now, I know it was kind of short, but it's the first time I've done it. There's some things that I already see that I want to do a little different, but in life, everything is a learning experience. If you don't experience it, you don't learn from it. So I guess that's my takeaway for tonight, is that if you don't experience something, you're not going to learn from it. And this experience has given me the knowledge to know that next time I'm going to have some more things going on. But I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. God bless you all, and keep on rocking the bass in my place.